Anyway, heading into this, our very final game of this cast and this week's match between Team Unrivaled Gaming and Team Composite in the Chobo Team League. So, spawning up in the north, playing today as I Dream of Doge, we have Fox for Team Unrivaled Gaming. And spawning in the south is our Yellow Zerg, we have Flubz playing for Team Composite. Typical GLHF going out between the players as we head into yet another match for the Chobo Team League. Again, I'll go through the spiel about the Chobo Team League for anyone who might be joining in and or watching the VODs. It's a league for players anywhere between Bronze and Diamond. It's a team-based format somewhat similar to SC2 Pro League. There are actually best of nines between teams every week. And they can take place in any order during the week. Basically, players get together whenever they can to play their games. So all of the games are played even if they are unnecessary because one or the other team has won. However, this is a very necessary game as so far the teams are completely tied. And this is the very last map, the very last part of the 9th ace match. And the ace matches are best of 3 between 2 diamond players. So it all comes down to this. It all comes down to the very final map. So opening's looking pretty standard so far. Looks like our Zerg is going to go hatch first, and our Terran player here getting down the typical Reaper expand setup with a refinery just before his barracks finishes. So that first Overlord for Flubz is just about to arrive on the Terran side of the map. The rush distance on this map is remarkably short. I believe it's the shortest map still in the map pool. We do actually use the same current ladder map pool as Blizzard does for our games, so I'm not going to see anything like maps that are currently out of the pool, like not Altazim, but like like Belfier Vestige or weird maps. It's the same map pool as Blizzard currently uses for ladder, as that allows us to practice the easiest. So that first Reaper is now just out of the barracks for Fox, or I Dream of Doge, such a great name, coming across the map. Man, it's times like this I wish the follow function still worked. Oh well, maybe they'll fix that in a new patch. Anyway, we have our Reaper. Looks like he's actually that's drone that he almost had killed. Is turned into a spore crawler to save it. Looks like he might get one of these Zerglings, but these Zerglings are enough to chase him off for the moment. Even though they're slow wings, they're pretty fast on creep. That drone being cancelled. And there's first blood out having taken down one of the Zerglings. But these Reapers content to kind of hang out for the moment. Oddly enough, not really penetrating into the base to really get a scout off, being used more for harassment than scouting. See an earlier factory coming down out of Fox this time. Probably going to see some Hellion harass come down rather than his Reaper harass. He is really into this early game harassment, and it's often successful for him, so I can't blame him. He's very good at it. Also, that second CC is just about done, just finishing now for Fox. Overlord hanging out. Nothing that can shoot up yet, so Terran player not able to get that Overlord to move along in any way. Queen's pushing back the Reapers for the moment. 2 Queens more than enough to push back 2 Reapers. Our Terran player is getting a bit of a mineral bank. I wonder what he's going to do with it. He's actually building a 3rd base already. And now starting out those Hellions. Yep, there it goes. Everything in use now. Just choosing to expand early. Looks like he may actually get a third base up before our Zerg player does, even although it looks like our Zerg player may in fact be going for third base of zone. Yep, right there. So both players going for pretty early expansion. Doesn't surprise me that much, as both of these players seem very apt to play longer macro games rather than try early attacks and cheese. Just lots of early harassment, especially out of our Terran player Fox. Got those first few Hellions coming across the map. Joining up with a few more, and well, actually those weren't the first few Hellions. In fact, there was a little engagement I missed there, probably Hellions versus Queens, but now there's 4 Hellions and 2 Reapers, and that's a moderately formidable force. All these Queens going way off creep to try to chase these guys off of this new third base. However, they're probably going to take advantage of that and head back into the main base, all those Queens being out in position. But no, rather than take advantage of the Queen's misposition, they just hang out at the watchtower and see what's going on. 2 more Hellions joining up. Pretty good Overlord spread. I mean, look at this mini-map. Look at this Overlord spread. Here, 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 here. Wow. What map vision. Seriously, that's some awesome map vision going on for our Zerg player at this moment. And if there's nothing the Terran player has that can fire up, there's nothing to oppose it. Anyway, they try to do some damage to this base, forcing the Queens to come over and push them away again. They still aren't numerous enough to fight off 4 Queens together, but at the very least, confirming what's going on with that third base, and well, just continuing to be annoying. In the meantime, we have 1-1 on the way for our Zerg player. Our Terran player just getting his E-base. They're just about to finish, so Zerg player is going to have a minor upgrade advantage. Going to have some timings where he's going to be ahead, at least until it gets to the point of 3-3. And Zergling's speed just about to finish, so with that he might be able to chase down these Hellions and Reapers if he chooses to make a ton of Zerglings to chase them. He's actually got a Terran player again ending up with a pretty massive bank. I wonder what he's planning on doing with it. Starport coming down for our Terran player, as well as the +1/+1 upgrades I already mentioned. That third CC is now morphing into an orbital. It has been finished, but not being used yet. Now the harass squad is actually trying to face down these Queens with a few clutch transfuses. Only 1 Queen is lost before they decide they have to pull back. So our Terran player's harass squad just hanging out up here. Fox being content to let that sit as he takes his third base behind the harassment has continued. In the meantime, our Zerg player Flubz expanding his creep a little further. Also taking down these rocks and gonna take that as his 4th base. Hellion is being used to fight back creep over on this side of the map. That is a lot of Zerglings, and might actually be able to get this around here. They are able to get 1 Reaper and 1 Hellion, losing a few of their number as the remaining Hellions and Reapers stop to fire at them, but Overseer still poking around the Terran base. And the Terran finally actually going into Marine production. It does have 2 factories, though. It's kind of interesting. Building a tech lab and a reactor, so kind of starting to remind me of Fantasy's schizophrenic build in Pro League, if you saw that a few days ago. That was a great game, by the way. If you haven't seen it, look up Fantasy's latest game in Pro League. I can't remember who he was playing against, but it was a really great game with a Terran building pretty much every single different unit that the Terrans have in the proper way and using them to win the game. It was a lot of fun. Anyway, we've got a scan coming down somewhere for our Terran player. There it is. I see, he's cleaning up more creep with the first Marines along with these few Hellions, but that's a lot of Zerglings and Banelings. Looks like didn't get cleaned up pretty quick by our Zerg player. Yep, Baneling's going off and taking down a ton of Marines. Still no Baneling speed, it's mostly there. It's not quite done yet, though. Making it so these Banelings off a creep are pretty much ineffective. They just can't get there. Got a small mutaflock going for Flubz so far. Let's see, how many mutas does he have? 7, so not bad. Taking that +1 flyer attacks a lot earlier this game, though. And 2-2 almost done for our Zerg player, with 2-2 not even on the way for our Terran player. Having foregone that in favor of more and more production with Marines and Widow Mines and more and more medevacs. 2 more racks on the way for our Terran player, increasing his production even more. It's true, it was life that he played. It's also nice to see there's still 2 of you and you hanging out watching with me. Hey, shout out to Tomla and Part 2 for both watching this live, friends of mine from Base Trade TV. And also shout out to Base Trade TV again. Those guys are great. If you want to watch some great pro games with community casters doing a wonderful job, much better than I do, go over and watch Base Trade TV sometime. Part 2's actually an observer over there, so big shout out to him. So we got Fox massing up his Marines. Lots and lots of Widow Mines buried to make sure that they don't get attacked. Pretty good spread on the Widow Mines. These are a little bit close together, but that's actually kind of nice sometimes because you can get mutaflocs with something like that. Sometimes massing up Widow Mines, having 3 or 4 right together, means you can actually take down the whole mutafloc if you get lucky. Anyway, we've got a ton of speedlings coming in to start attacking these Marines, being followed by some Banelings. And that's a pretty nice attack from our Zerg player there, taking down most of the SCVs and forcing the 3rd base to lift. Looks like Flubz may have this. The door is broken down, and I just don't think that Fox has enough to defend against this. And look at the army supply. It's 96 to 29 army supply at this point. This may just be way too much for our Terran player. Widow Mines might be able to do some work, but they're not going to be that good. And observers allowing the Widow Mines to get picked off is... Most of the Zerg ground army is done, but our Terran's down to 1 base. 1 base that's halfway mined out. Looks like our Zerg player is going to at least mass up his reinforcements for the moment, rather than try to push into the 1 base Terran. But it's now 4 bases to 1. Taking down a few more Widow Mines for free as they try to get something done on the map. Looks like this push may end it. Yep. Flubz is mentioning how anticlimactic it is. Yep, there's just nothing our Terran player can do. Both players know it. They're just hanging out and talking about stuff. Well, they finish it up. Both players know it's done. But the Chobo Team League's about having fun, just us as much as trying to play good games, and so there's no reason not to hang out and talk for a bit before the GG. That'll be it for my cast today. Hope you guys that have been around have had a lot of fun. And anyone watching on VODs, I hope you've enjoyed it. I've got one more cast for this week. I'll probably try to get to that tomorrow. Also, I'm going to be playing a game live for the Week 2 competition. as I will be playing my first Chobo Team League game that I actually get to play at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so that's about 14 hours from now. In any case, thanks for watching. I'll be signing off for the moment. The VODs will be up pretty soon for anyone who's interested.